But I feel like they're starting to get a little bit of momentum. They'll work on the tier 1 mid now. Hana is purged, a roar thrown out on Pulsong, so he can't blink it an RP. Xiaoweight's able to catch him out, but he gets away with the haster and he skewers to the low ground. The Mana Void ain't enough. Sylar will be forced back, and when it's all said and done, he gets away. And he gets away with only 40 HP. What a play.
That's 2 ultis on the Mag that got away. That's basically like a kill.
The Mag that got away. It sounds like a very sad love song. And Sylar, like you said, went for the Vlads. It's going to be able to farm the Ancients freely now and also just be more aggressive farming the enemy jungle.
He's on LG treads though. That's the only thing. But well, I guess it doesn't matter too much.
He's gotten a decent amount of stats as well. Only sitting on 7, 8, 10 skill points. So quite a few points in stats, which means he's still pretty survivable even if he does switch to the LG treads. So right now, Miracle Shadowblade, if your first departure, what's your game plan? Because this, I still feel like they're just way too far behind to deal with this anti-mage.
I feel like they have to sort of, they have to try to pick off the anti-mage, but he has an Aegis, and the only way they initiate on him is Blink RP or just a stun of Vendetta. And on paper, it's like, oh, you have 2 ways, but wasting a Blink RP on an Aegis target is just asking to get wiped in a team fight. And Nyx, sure, but it's hard for Nyx to rotate with the anti-mage. He's so mobile right now. He has a max blink. He's just going to run around the map.
Hana's going to lead the way mid and look to work on the creep wave. They're going to try and chop it down. They have an RP, a blink available as well, but Shadow Poison could disable that. Are they going to be able to prevent him from getting it off? Poisson lumbers in, dodges from the one Shadow Poison, but eats a purge. Now an X, a torrent, and he already used his blink. He's going to get pulled back into a boat and a whole world of pain. Yao brings him down very fast at that. Hana on the run as well. Can he get out of here? He's hoofing it through the trees, but another blink from Sylar. The birds give chase as well. Where's your Grave Chill? Where's your Torrent? Waiting for the Blade Fury to cool down. Are they going to go? The Torrent's not going to connect. Looks like they will back off in the end. Vendetta was wasted as well. And when it's all said and done, without the Magnus RP, this team just has no shot in the fights.
Dekonka's actually leaving his X at level 2.
Yeah, I like it. It's just there's no need to level it up in like 95% of cases, I would say.
I mean, it's sort of nice just because of the range. If they can catch out that Meg, because you have, Roar
from Xiaoweight, finds one at the base. Lubby gets picked off quickly. And with no Keeper of Light, can they defend? This is going to be tough.
They still have the RP, they have Shockwave spam, they have a Nyx spam, they have Gyro ulti.
Sylar's Manta style, if he finds another kill, which he might be able to, no, they'll back off.
Sylar is
Aegis is going to run out soon.
Absurdly farm compared to everyone else.
Double birds deployed just to slow down first departure. Now, want to farm those birds. They're camping them out. They want their gold. This is going to be their third set of birds, I do believe, and it doesn't even matter. It's like the gold doesn't even show. You look at the gold graph, where is that 600 gold? It's just irrelevant right now, and overall, LGD just too effective at controlling the map and getting more out of it. Just more efficient play across the board.
2 masts on this brigantine.
AUI, I'm not sure what they do. It feels very hard to come back from this.
You get a Rapier on Gyro. I mean,
it's true. It's always possible. He does have a Demon Edge, but is he actually going to live to use this with no BKB, no lifesteal, and no evasion? I feel the anti-mage just does more without a Rapier.
I feel like you sort of have to go Rapier on Gyro at this point.
And just hope for LGD to overextend.
Yeah, when your 1 is matching their 2 in farm, and their 1 has, what, like triple your second farmer, you have to do something.
You're in dire straits. LGD are feeling very confident. They're going to smoke up and head bottom. And of course, they always have those 2 extra anti-mages at their disposal to siege the base. They have Inner Beast as well, 2 points in that. So, don't be fooled. This ain't just a normal anti-mage. He's got a little bit of extra cushion for the push-in, and they're going to push in.
Something that I never mentioned today, actually, is that if the Radiant or Dire get the tower kill, you actually get more gold on hold for your team. It's like 50 or 100. It's not that much, but...
Or you get more gold for Sylar, and Sylar says, I like that one a little better.
That one's good, but like I'm just saying, like a support probably shouldn't be taking towers, because not only is the gold going to support, but your team gets more gold if you don't get it.
Dire's top tower is
well, can Miracle farm he's actually not too far off from a Divine Rapier, so maybe we'll see it.
And
there's still that very thin ray of hope.
LGD's gonna take top, farm it out a bit, get Aegis before breaking base. They're a team that likes to.
And they'll have heart by then too.
And they'll have heart.
It heals like the salt sea air.
I mean, it's like you said, it's a formula that works, and it certainly works for them and their
I mean,
style.
I think he is going for Rapier. I don't know for sure. The
maybe,
only problem
maybe
is
he's biding his time and
yeah.
he'll decide later.
even
but
if he gets
really
a Rapier,
has to.
even if he gets a Rapier though, they have a Beastmaster. Like they have a Shadow Demon. They have
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No BKB, and I mean, so just the magic damage alone
Yeah.
from a soul assumption might take away half his health,
pretty much.
and let alone just being roared and auto attacked by anti-mage and taking the mana burn damage.
It's such a hard situation to play from.
LGD are grouping up top. They are confident, and they're poised to take a tier 2 top. If they win this game, they will be your first team out of Group A as the 1 seed. That wouldn't be a surprise. We've already had a surprise today with Rattlesnake getting knocked down by First Departure to the lower bracket. Will First Departure join them, or will they force a Game 3? Right now, it doesn't feel like they will, but you never know. Anything could happen when there's a Divine Rapier Gyro involved. If it comes to pass, we'll hold our breath and we'll wait. The thing that you mentioned breaking the base, AUI, this is the item to do it with. An Aghanims on the Beastmaster on top of the gem, and the Aghanims is about to come out. Talk about a perfect item to initiate.
That Meg, even though he has a Blink Dagger, it's actually going to be pretty hard to initiate. The Hawk is just so strong. He's going to have to basically waste a solo smoke in order to initiate, and it's so hard because right now I don't even think do they even have a smoke? Okay, there's a smoke on the Kato, but after that they have no smoke for 5 minutes. And then you don't want to waste it on a solo smoke. You need to get something out of every single smoke you use when you're behind.
The other problem is all the smokes are going to be so obvious because LGD can really push these lanes hard with the amount of farm they have and just the level of advantage. They're confident to push them, and they're fast at doing it. With a Beastmaster, the birds, or the familiars, and then an anti-mage who's working towards a pretty quick butterfly. 30 minutes, we're going to be seeing a butterfly, a Vlad's, a Battle Fury, Treads. That might be too much, but I mean, you mentioned smokes. Can they actually get off a decent smoke that's not blatantly obvious?
The smoke sort of has to be like you flank them while they're pushing.
Yeah.
It can't be like a 5-man, you pick someone off. It's like a smoke into a team fight, I feel. They might be able to like, oh, you show 3 people on the map, you get 2 people to pick someone off, but it's so risky because if those 2 people, like any 2 people right now, they run into anti-mage solos them, and then you just feel bad. So
he might solo their whole team. He's very close to a butterfly. Sylar
really might.
will blink towards that side shot.
I hope he gets an Abyssal Blade after this, not a heart too. I would like to see that.
Yeah.
And Gyro bought an item. It's a Rapier. And they smoke right when he gets a Rapier.
This is like the least exciting Rapier come ever because we've seen it coming for like 5 minutes.
This is really good timing. If they can kill this Roshan
Big smoke.
with the Rapier, they win this team fight. They can actually come back into this game.
Yeah, can they win the team fight? That's the question. Can Paulson get off a decent RP?
If he gets a RP, like
Scriptor will be the first one in, and it's going to be DD who starts it with the disruption. Now they're forced back. They're not able to go into the pit. Roche
need to
is
just
dropping
run in.
fast. Sylar's committing to this.
Oh no.
They're going to back off. Oh, you have a Rapier.
You have to
have
go.
RP. Are they going to fight now? This is not looking so good. They're going to X lobby. They pull him back into a torrent. Now the boat. No, waiting for the boat. Actually, the birds get blown up, so able to get out of there. At least they don't die, but they just gave up an Aegis to Sylar, and
that was their chance.
this is your butterfly. This is
Like now
Rax.
the Rapier damage, it's like Butterfly 35% evasion is plus 50% EHP. Like the Rapier doesn't even matter that much to the anti-mage anymore. It still matters. It's still a Rapier, but if they're taking that fight, I feel like that was their best chance. Like when you're behind, you have to take a risk in order to catch up. That's sort of just how it goes. You can't just sit back and wait because you're gonna die a slow, long death. This way, at least like they have a chance, right? Like, okay, they farm it out. Maybe Gyro gets like 3 Rapiers or something. They have like a 0.1% chance to win or something. Like there, I think I would give them like 30% to win that fight.
It seemed like LGD was too spread to give them 30%. They had Shadow Demon up on the hill. They had Anti-Mage, the only hero actually in the pit. How are you going to find a good RP against that? I mean, I agree. They definitely had a shot to win it.
They needed like a 2-man RP. That's all. Because the Shadow
else do
Demon
you
and
need
the
to get?
Visage are going to die just to the Gyro flak. So you need to hit Beastmaster +1. As long as the Beastmaster can't roar the Gyro, they're actually not in that bad a position. But roaring a Beastmaster and Anti-Mage together, which would be the ideal, is
Now they're trying to
difficult.
push. They're trying to push with the Divine and Miracles in the front. He's going to get X'd and then thrown up by the boat. The boat's going to hit Roar as well, but they're not focusing him. It doesn't even matter. Visage is going to finish him. Who takes the Divine? I think it should be Sylar, but Who actually grabbed it? Didn't see there. It is Yao. Oh, God. Here come your Kunkka Cleaves. Here comes some big plays. Immediate GG. They tap out. First departure. A great showing earlier versus Rattlesnakes. Just didn't have it versus LGD. They will be dropping down to the losers bracket. And LGD will be the 1 seed advancing on our first day out of Group A. Well, LGD just got to play their game.
Yeah, that game is... It's just a no-play, pretty much.
It sounded like a book report where you have just like a template to fill out. It's like, win the lanes, get Sylar farming, get him to a point where he can push too quickly, then you get the lanes pushed out, you get the wards up, you destroy their towers, you buy a gem, you eliminate all their map control, you scout with the Hawk, you scout with the Visage familiars, you occasionally find kills, you starve them, you take a Roche, you take the tier 2s if they're not already dead, you threaten a tier 3, you take the next Roche, you win the game. It feels just like a formula.
That was textbook Dota.
So when you're up against that, I mean, we look at First Departure, had a good showing earlier. They're going to be dropping down to the losers bracket. There's Dreamz waiting there. There's also Rattlesnake. Do you think they have what it takes to come out of the lower bracket?
I mean, they've already beaten one of those teams before.
And you saw Dreamz earlier, a little bit unorthodox. They came closer than anyone today to actually taking a game off of LGD. Do you think they have a shot, or do you only see really First Departure and Rattlesnake sort of in contention here?
I think that even though First Departure beat Rattlesnake in that first phase, I think Rattlesnake still has the best chance of moving on. I think Dreamz played better than First Departure in these.
They seem like they matched up better against LGD. Like they're a little, I don't know, a little more confident, hard to predict.
It felt like LGD played worse against Dreamz. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it wasn't Dreamz making them play worse.
Dreamz has this kind of like chaotic, I would almost say, I wouldn't quite call it Russian Dota, but it sort of feels like it, you know, or like you see like Empire when they had their dominant 5-man roster for a long time with Funnick, Goblik, Silent, and so forth and so on. And it kind of feels like that, where they, I won't say they're as good, but they have that same style, where they just kind of throw you out of your comfort zone.
You have a different style. It throws teams off.
LGD likes an orderly game, and frankly, it's just a bad matchup for First Departure because they almost always give orderly games unless they get the Wisp. At least that's what we've seen. And they didn't get the Wisp.
Just go band up.
Orderly game. LGD just plays better. Well, that's our analysis, guys. I'm LD. He's AUI. Let's throw it over to the desk. This was our final match of the day. We'll have more coming up, but Gods, Blitz, your thoughts?
Well, it concludes things for today, and it was a pretty standard, another straightforward game for LGD. It really sort of, ever since that first game where Dreamz challenged them, it's been pretty smooth sailing for them, as most people would have expected here in Group A. The big surprise has been, as mentioned, Rattlesnake dropping down to the loser bracket in their first match, where they did lose to First Departure. But as for that game, it was just a solid overall performance from LGD. Anything stand out for you, really?
Yao's play as Kunkka was absolutely phenomenal. He actually, even before the torrent setups, he was hitting torrents by himself, no problem. He always got a decent boat off. And then from there, he created so much space for Sylar to just farm his anti-mage. Because with the good thing about Kunkka is with the boat, you can always take a fight like on uneven terms, even 4v5. And if it was an even trade at that point, 4v5, anti-mage is farming the entire time. So it's not actually that even.
Yeah, and I definitely agree that they were kind of onto a good point there about how Dreamz did seem to match up a bit better against LGD. First Departure, just they caused the upset against Rattlesnake, but I don't feel like they played worse against LGD. I just feel like LGD, the way they matched up, the way just LGD themselves played sort of up their game as well. It was just two different teams.
Yeah, I actually think First Departure played a little better in the series against LGD. I thought they showed a pretty good, solid game. But they played pretty conventionally, and against LGD, they're just going to do it a little better than you.
Yeah, I think that's what LGD did fantastic with the draft, is they didn't allow First Departure to go for something that could catch them by surprise. The Wisp pick, any of those sort of unusual fringe things. They said, well, we're going to make you beat us by playing standard style of play, with the mag, with the anti-mage, whatever it may be. And as you said, you can't beat LGD at that game.
Yeah. The thing I liked actually most about LGD this entire day was they were actually phenomenal about keeping their towers alive and then counter pressuring as much as they possibly could. They just didn't give up anything for free. So great performance by them today.
Well, LGD move on. They have now qualified for the playoffs. They do not have to play until the 28th of May, which is more than a week away from now. Well, not at least not in no more matches here in the East Qualifier. They'll be playing some other tournaments, the G1 League LAN finals on the weekend. But as far as Group A is concerned, let's take a quick look at the updated brackets, see how things are now shaping up. winner bracket's essentially over. LGD, they've qualified for the playoffs, but now we have tomorrow's loser bracket matches. Our first one is going to be Dreamz versus Rattlesnake, and then following that, the winner of that's going to go up against First Departure. The one team we've talked about, the Chinese team's being the favorites, Rattlesnake. But to me, they've got to go through Dreamz, a very unpredictable team, and then First Departure, another very unpredictable team. It's got to be tough.
Yeah, this is actually a really competitive group. Everyone acquitted themselves well today, so I'd imagine that that's actually just going to be a scrap.
Yeah. As far as you guys, LD, AUI, looking at tomorrow's matches, do you see Rattlesnake as far as, I mean, put them up against either of the two teams, I'd count them as favorites, but as far as escaping this group in second, I feel beating both those teams is maybe not even higher than 50%.
The group's definitely wide open. I don't think we can look at it and say this team is clearly going to advance, but I do feel like Rattlesnake has the best chance. Despite the fact that they lost the First Departure today, they have time to look at how the games went. They're not going to give Wisp away again. I think they'll play a little bit more discipline. We noticed there were some sort of item selections. They didn't get enough damage. I think that was the big problem in Game 2 when they had multiple BKBs were ahead very early, then threw away an advantage. I don't really see that happening again tomorrow. I think this team's going to go through the game footage, basically sit down and say, this is what we need to correct. And I think there's no way Dreamz can deal with them. And then the First Departure match, I think it'll be closer, but in the end, I see Rattlesnake still prevailing and the top two Chinese teams coming out of the group.
Yeah, I mean, well, Dreamz has surprised us once.
That's true. They definitely could.
First Departure has also surprised us.
I'm just saying, I wouldn't put money on it.
I would.
Don't put your money on it. You can put your heart on it. You can believe, but keep your wallet in your pocket. I actually have Dreamz. I want them to win, but we'll see.
There we go. For you guys who will be tuning in tomorrow, hopefully everyone who's tuning in right now, we do have a slightly different schedule. We'll be starting at a different time. We can take a quick look at that now. We only have 2 best of 3s because it's the loser bracket, which means we're starting a bit later. We all get to have some good, well-earned rest. We're starting at 3 a.m. Pacific Daylight Saving Time, which is, I believe, 6 p.m. Singapore time.
Yeah, 6 p.m. Singapore time,
Yep.
12 p.m. Central European summertime.
LD's on that time zone conversions.
That's all I'm good for right now.
What time is Australian Standard Time?
Who cares?
I
love you Aussies, but
Australia's
I don't care
like
about your time
our
zones.
number 6 demographic, man. We gotta care.
Just convert from SGT. Come on. I know you all know it. Stop being stubborn. Shame on you. Oh, the camera's not on me, but I'm wagging my finger at you anyway.
There we go. Carlos, anyways, any final thoughts, LD, AUI, about today's action? What's coming tomorrow?
For me, the most exciting series was the first one. First Departure versus Rattlesnake. I was just blown away by Miracle's Wisp play. I mean, I saw some people saying, oh, he's not as good as Funnick. Come on. We're comparing him to Funnick, arguably the best Wisp player in the world. Certainly one of the best, up there with No Tail as well. And if he's even in the conversation for a few seconds, that means he put on a hell of a show. That was the highlight for me. I felt the other games, Dreamz probably should have won that first game versus LGD. I still don't think they would have taken the series. They could have made things more interesting, but it's a good group. LGD, the obvious team to advance out of it. Tomorrow, I think it's just going to be Rattlesnake, but I'd love to be proven wrong.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's just the level of Dota has been so high that I'm just excited to see in the next round when you have the top 4 teams from this qualifier going in. Like, that's going to be scary, actually.
You're like that kid in class who's just like absorbing all the knowledge, and the teacher's, I like you. I'm going to teach you more. You get extra lessons, so, well. We've been learning a lot. Hopefully we'll learn more tomorrow.
I felt like the kid who got promised to go to the ice cream store today, but didn't get to go, and I was disappointed, but turns out we're going to go to the candy store instead, because I wanted my LGD versus Rattlesnake match. I really wanted my LGD versus Rattlesnake match. I didn't get it, but what we got was something special, something awesome. Miracle's Wisp, I wouldn't trade that game for anything. That has got to be some of the most best plays of the month, of the year so far, maybe. It was just amazing.
He put on a show, but you got to look at it like this. First Departure can't be thinking about that anymore. They are in the losers bracket. They have not gotten out of this group yet. You got to forget about that. You have one match to prepare for. It's either going to be Dreamz or Rattlesnake. You watch the matches tomorrow like a hawk. You do a little preparation in advance. You get rested. You get your minds right. And you come back ready to win, because it doesn't matter how good you looked yesterday. Rattlesnake and Dreamz are both fully capable of surprising and knocking off First Departure, even though they got to the winner bracket finals.
For sure.
Any final thoughts for today, Will?
I'm good. Just ready to go to sleep like everybody else, I assume.
Well, I've got some VOD editing. I saw some Reddit posts saying, why aren't there updates in my thread? But I'll get on that.
We'll have VODs for you guys, and I know there's some feedback in general on technical stuff with the stream. audio. We're working things out, so any feedback that you do have, you can just email us. Try to be constructive. bts@beyondthesummit.tv. We'll do everything in our power to get things as good as possible for tomorrow. Thank you all for bearing with us on day one. I hope you guys have enjoyed it so far, but yeah, don't be worried. Don't be shy. If you have constructive feedback, send it our way. Minimal flames. Keep it to a dull roar if possible. But if you have to flame, well, go Kappa. Why not?
Yeah. And as some of you may have not realized, we actually have a website now set up similar to the GD Studio, you may notice, because it was basically designed by the GD Studio. Big thanks to those guys for helping us put together. It is qualifiers.beyondthesummit.tv. It's all geared for the Eastern teams, apart from some dodgy stats, which we butchered. But apart from that, it's all good.
Thanks, Bruno. Yeah, some of the stats are baloney because there's not really many good stats on these teams, but we are working on a stat solution. Sam, I'm putting you on the spot, but he's our amazing developer, sort of the wizard behind all the overlays and graphics and stuff like that. Might not be ready for tomorrow, but hopefully we'll be ready later on. We have 10 days. Hope to get it out as soon as possible. If we can, then we will have some more interesting stats. But in the meantime, we'll use what we got.
Yep. Well, I think that pretty much concludes everything for today, guys. A huge thanks to everyone who's helped us get to where we are now. As you can see, brand new studio. We love it. Hope you guys love it as well. And this wouldn't have all been possible without all of you guys, the community who support us. Kickstarter, even before the Kickstarter, just viewed in, help Beyond the Summit grow. Can't even speak anymore. But
that's a 24 karat gold Aegis on the wall. I'm just saying. That's money well spent.
I'll take that esports money. and them hexagons. Them hexagons. But
yeah, those were more expensive.
Guys, I think that's a wrap. I don't have much else
Get
to
out
say.
of here. Go get some sleep. Guys, thank you for tuning in. That's going to wrap it up for today. We will come back tomorrow at 3 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. That's 12 p.m. CEST or 6 p.m. SGT. We hope to see you all then when we will wrap up Group A and see who's going to make it out as our second team. Right now, Rattlesnake, Dreamz, as well as First Departure, duking it out. Tomorrow, only one of those teams will be left standing. We'll see you then. Bye.